Honestly, this whole Swayman versus Cam thing is becoming exhausting. It's truly turned into Desperate Housewives, and the hits keep coming. Pierre Lebrun spoke to Cam Neely, the Bruins claimed a goalie on waivers, and what does this mean? And Jeremy Swayman carried around a list to motivate him last season. So buckle up, Bruins fans. I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. If you've been liking my Bruins content, please leave me a like and subscribe. If you've already done so, thank you, and let's get into it. I truly can't wait for the day that I can stop talking about the soap opera that is the Boston Bruins. So I'm going to start off by talking about the goalie they claimed off waivers and what it all means. The Bruins announced yesterday that Boston Bruins general manager Don Sweeney on October 2nd that the team had claimed goaltender Jiri Patera off waivers from Vancouver. Patera, 25, appeared in 25 games with the Henderson Silver Knights AHL during the 23-24 season, compiling a record of 11-10-4 with a 2.99 goals against average and a .903 save percentage. The 6'3", 202-pound goaltender has played in 85 career AHL games, posting an overall record of 37-40-6 with a 2.92 goals against average and a .907 save percentage. Patera has also appeared in 8 career NHL games with the Vegas Golden Knights. The Prague, Czechia native was originally selected by Vegas in the 6th round, 161st overall of the 2017 NHL entry draft. Before everyone goes down the "this is because they're trading Swayman" rabbit hole, I wanted to let you know some realities of the Boston Bruins roster. Regardless of who they choose as the backup to start the season, if Swayman isn't signed, Bussy or DiPietro, whoever gets chosen to not be the backup, will have to clear waivers. This means any team in the NHL can claim them and the Bruins lose them for nothing. Also, if the Bruins do sign Swayman at any point after the start of the season and must send another one down, they run into this situation again, and in fact could lose both goalies if they're claimed, which would be terrible. Patera is insurance in case something like this happens and nothing more. Let's get in the news surrounding Jeremy Swayman and Cam Neely, because at this point, those are the two we've heard from the most in public. I have a theory, though, about Louis Gross leaking info to Spitting Chicklets, but I have zero proof, but I have connected the dots and think I'm right. Louis Gross is the ex-agent of Colby Armstrong, who appears on the Spitting Chicklets podcast from time to time, and I think is the person feeding Wit all the information. I have zero proof, but if I was a betting man, I would go all in. Cam Neely said his now famous line.
Well, I don't want to get into the weeds with what his ask is, but I know that I have 64 million reasons why I'd be playing right now.
And I have theories that himself and Sweeney have been feeding info to one Fluto Shinzawa, who has a very close relationship with the team. I want to say I have no proof of any of this, and it's only my thoughts and opinion. But it's very interesting that these two outlets are the only ones that have all this inside information, and then all these other outlets like TSN and everything kind of get their information trickled down from these two outlets. So to me, these two outlets have the inside track. Now, Pierre Lebrun ran into Cam Neely and shared this on TSN. I would love to show you the clip from TSN with Pierre Lebrun, but YouTube keeps hitting me with a copyright protection. Totally understand it. Not saying it's a bad thing. So I'm just going to summarize this because I kind of already recorded the other parts, and this is the only way it's going to make sense. So Pierre Lebrun was at the NHL Board of Governors meeting and ran into Cam Neely in the elevator. He asked him point blank about the $64 million offer. Cam Neely said he didn't really want to talk about it anymore, but did give Pierre the thought that it actually was an offer at the press conference and that Swayman's agent wasn't lying, that he had never seen it before. Pierre Lebrun also got out of Cam Neely that the two sides are still continuing to talk. So that is a very good thing. All things considered, after Gross's Instagram post pretty much telling us that this was a dead thing, after Louis Gross' Instagram post, this looked terrible. Pierre Lebrun goes on to say about how he doesn't think a trade can happen, and he really does think that the two sides will work on a deal very shortly. He also says that he thinks that 8x8, that's a pretty fair offer for this marketplace. I'll leave a link below to the actual video that I couldn't show you because, well, I got hit with a copyright. I do apologize. Normally I do give you videos from the interviews, and I wish I could have, but I couldn't in this point. Sorry. The Bruins' theory is a lot like mine, that Swayman's agent wasn't lying when he said, "This is the first I've heard of the $64 million offer." Because it was. All this mudslinging is truly getting out of hand because both sides are taking this way too personal. And it all stems from Swayman taking the Bruins to arbitration last year when the Bruins could have given him a bridge deal or at least taken the 2-year term from the decision instead of a 1 year they chose. Swayman took what they said way too personal. And he carried around a note with him all year having all the bad things they said about him as fuel to play better, according to people who have watched the Face-Off Inside the NHL, which will air on Amazon Prime on Friday, October 4th. Greg Wyshynski from ESPN, who's seen it, reports in episode 3, Swayman is featured and quoted as saying, I don't want it to end. This could be the last time I wear a Bruins jersey. I know I'm going to do everything in my power to be a Bruin for a long time. As a kid growing up in Alaska, this was my wildest effing dreams. I never wanted to end. I'm just so grateful the sun's going to rise tomorrow and there'll be another opportunity to get better. Whatever I can do to help this team win, I know everything else will take care of itself. He went on to say, when you go into that room, you don't say a word. My arbitrator started first, said all these great things. The arbitrator on the other side, their job is to help management side and to rip players. Hearing that you're not worthy of what you think you're worthy of, that was hard to hear. You don't forget what was said. The Bruins goalie said he wrote down every criticism he heard during the hearing into a checklist that he would refer to during the season. My biggest knock was I wasn't trustworthy in the playoffs. Well, check, said Swayman, motioning a check mark with his hand. I honestly love this. And he used this to fuel and play better last year. He 100% took it personal, and I'm sure a lot of us would as well. He played lights out in the playoffs last year and was the Bruins' best player. Unfortunately, though, Cam Neely is the same sort of person and wears his heart on his sleeve, so he's taking the whole thing personally as well. The team has seen the footage, I am for sure, and the team was also in the ARB hearing, but the team also knows how well he played for them. I truly think the 8x8 is a fair offer, and he should take it and use this whole soap opera as fuel to play better this year and prove to everyone saying trade him or he hasn't done anything to deserve this, wrong. If he doesn't use this as motivation or take the deal, then we have another issue, and that is on him. The good news still is both sides are still talking, and everyone seems to think a deal will get done. Also, he has not asked for a trade, and the Bruins don't plan on trading him. That's a wrap on today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you, and I will see you next time.